Somewhere along your journey of awakening, you felt something shift. You saw the illusion, the patterns, the noise, and then a profound silence. At first it was powerful, but slowly that sense of meaning just vanished, quietly, like your soul turned down the volume on life and forgot to turn it back up. The drive you used to have, the ambition, the hustle, is gone, replaced by a strange, hollow quiet. You expected bliss, but you're left with this confusing emptiness. This feeling isn't a sign that you've failed. It's a sign that your soul is recalibrating for something much deeper. And the great psychologist Carl Jung, though he didn't use our modern spiritual terms, understood exactly why this happens. He saw this process, what many today call an ego death, not as a loss, but as the critical transition to discovering who you were truly meant to be. There's a strange paradox here that no one prepares you for. You've seen behind the curtain of reality, and yet you can barely get out of bed. The career you built, the achievements you were so proud of, it's like they belong to a stranger. The dreams that once fueled you have turned to dust, and the future, which used to be a territory to conquer, now just looks like a vast, empty landscape. You feel like a ghost in your own life. You go through the motions, you work, you talk to people, but that inner fire is gone. There's just this constant, quiet hum of meaninglessness underneath it all. And in that silence, a question starts whispering louder. Is this depression? Did I do something wrong? Am I failing at this whole spirituality thing? You might even feel a sense of shame because you were told awakening would bring joy and light, but all you feel is this strange, heavy numbness. You look at others still chasing their goals with that ferocious intensity, and you feel completely alienated. The game they're playing seems almost naive now, a game you no longer have the energy or desire to play. You're not lazy, you're not broken. You're in the middle of a sacred psychological process. You've simply arrived at the most misunderstood stage of your transformation, a stage that Carl Jung mapped with stunning clarity. What you're feeling isn't a step backward. It's not failure. It's something ancient and sacred. This isn't the end of your journey. It's the true beginning. The Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, a master cartographer of the soul, knew this territory intimately. He called this process individuation, the journey of becoming your authentic self. And he taught that this journey must begin with a psychological death, the death of who you thought you were. The emptiness you feel is the psychic space left behind when the old you, the version built on external validation and societal expectations, begins to crumble. That lack of motivation isn't a problem to be fixed. It's a symptom that your old operating system is shutting down. Jung understood that much of what we call motivation is really a collection of sophisticated defenses. What we might describe today as a kind of purpose poisoning. It's the drive to prove you're good enough, to earn love, to build a fortress of achievements to feel safe. But after an awakening, you've seen through the illusion. The ego's frantic games no longer make sense. Those old motivations fade because they were based on a lie. The lie that you are separate and lacking. This silent, unmotivated state is what the alchemists, whom Jung studied intensely, called the nigredo, the blackening, the dark, messy, and absolutely essential first stage of turning lead into gold. You are not falling apart, you are dissolving. And in that dissolution, you are making way for something real to be born. So let's break this down. To understand where you are, you need a map. Jung provides that map. He shows us that this journey from the false self to the true self happens in predictable stages. Part 1. The collapse of the persona. For most of your life, your motivation came from what Jung called the persona. The persona is the mask we wear to function in society. It's the role of the good student, the successful professional, the spiritual seeker. It's the carefully crafted identity designed to win approval and fit in. Your ambition was the fuel for maintaining this mask. But a spiritual awakening is a seismic event that cracks this mask wide open. Suddenly, you see with devastating clarity that the mask is not you. The applause feels hollow. The identity feels like a cage. And as the persona shatters, the motivational structure built around it collapses. You're like a character in a play who has stepped off stage and can't figure out what their lines are anymore. You didn't lose your drive. You outgrew the fuel that powered it. This isn't failure. It's the beginning of authenticity. Part 2. The void, the sacred emptiness. Once the persona collapses, you enter what can feel like a terrifying void. This is the nigredo, the dark night of the soul. Jung saw this emptiness not as a dead end, but as a sacred and pregnant space. It's a liminal space, the threshold between what was and what is yet to come. Think of it like a demolition site. The old, unstable building has been torn down. Right now, you're standing in the rubble. It's messy and empty. It's not beautiful yet. You're simply in the in-between phase of clearing the ground. Or, to use a powerful metaphor that reflects this process, the chrysalis. A caterpillar doesn't just sprout wings. Inside the cocoon, it dissolves into a soupy, undifferentiated goo. It completely ceases to be a caterpillar. It is formless, nothing. And yeah, goo doesn't get stuff done. It doesn't hustle. It dissolves. But this is where the miracle happens. In this void, this state of complete surrender, the blueprints for the butterfly begin to organize. That is where you are. You are in the sacred goo. Your old ego-driven motivations are gone, but the new soul-driven motivations have not yet crystallized. Your only job right now is to honor this sacred pause, to resist the frantic urge to fill the emptiness. You must allow yourself to be undone so you can finally become. Part 3. The emergence of the self. If you can bear the silence of the void, something remarkable begins to happen. From the depths, a new center of gravity emerges. Jung called this the self, the true, whole, authentic center of your psyche, the soul-level center inside you that connects to everything. Motivation from the self feels entirely different. Ego motivation is loud, anxious, and urgent. It's a push from behind, fueled by fear, screaming, "You have to do this, or you won't be enough." Soul motivation, or motivation from the self, is quiet, steady, and magnetic. It's a gentle pull from within. It whispers, "This is who I am. This is what feels real." It doesn't need to prove anything. It only needs to express. This new drive might be a quiet pull to write, to walk in nature, to create something not for applause, but for the simple joy of its expression. You stop asking, "What can I get?" and you start asking, "What wants to be expressed through me?" This is the beginning of a life lived from your own center. So if you feel no motivation after your awakening, you are not broken or lost. You are in the sacred pause between who you were and who you are becoming. The emptiness is not a void, it's a womb. The death of your old drive is the clearing of the land for a deeper purpose to take root. As Jung taught, your vision becomes clear only when you can look into your own heart. Your only task right now is to honor the silence, to be patient, to listen. Instead of asking, "What should I do?" start asking, "What is this stillness trying to teach me?" Trust that you are being guided, even in the darkness. Trust that the butterfly is forming within the goo. A new motivation will arise, and when it does, it will not be the frantic fire of the ego, but the steady, quiet glow of your own soul. It won't push you, it will simply live through you. If this spoke to you, if it helped you name something you've been silently navigating, you are not alone on this path. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what this journey has felt like for you. Reading through the stories of others can be a powerful reminder that this is a shared human journey. And if you wish to continue exploring the map of your own soul, subscribe for more guidance. Remember, you have not lost your way. You are finally finding it.